It's been nearly 60 years since Petticoat Junction 1963 to 1970 first aired. A generation of actors has passed into legend, and in 2026, only a few remain to tell the story. In this emotional retrospective, we update you on the survivors and remember the ones we lost. Prepare for shocking truths and rare footage as we say a final goodbye to the residents of the Shady Rest. Number 1. Bea Benaderet as Kate Bradley. Born on April 4, 1906. Bea was 57 years old when she took the lead in Petticoat Junction in 1963. As the matriarch of the Shady Rest Hotel, she was the undisputed anchor for her 3 daughters and the entire valley. She played Kate with a genuine, unforced maternal warmth that made the hotel feel like a sanctuary. She wasn't just a sitcom lead, she was the emotional glue that held the production together. Her personal career was often marked by professional sacrifices and uncredited brilliance. She was Lucille Ball's first and only choice to play Ethel Mertz in I Love Lucy, but she turned it down out of loyalty to another program. She also spent years as the original uncredited voice of Betty Rubble. These choices defined her a woman who prioritized her promises and her craft over the pursuit of being a global household name, always working steadily in the foundations of television history. The tragedy of her final years was a battle fought in the shadow of the cameras. Diagnosed with lung cancer in 1967, she continued to film even as her health collapsed. She endured grueling radiation treatments while maintaining Kate Bradley's cheerful disposition for the audience. Eventually, her illness became impossible to hide. Her voice weakened, and her physical presence on screen dwindled, leaving her Petticoat family to watch their matriarch fade away, while the show attempted to maintain its lighthearted facade. Bea died on October 13, 1968, at the age of 62, while the show was still in its 6th season. Her passing was a soul-crushing blow to the series, which never truly recovered its heart after losing its center. She worked almost until her final breath, a testament to her devotion to the fictional family she had built. At the time of her passing, her estimated net worth was $2 million. Number 2. Edgar Buchanan as Uncle Joe Carson. Born March 20, 1903, Edgar was 60 when he joined the Shady Rest in 1963. He was a master of timing, playing the man who is movin' kind of slow with a warmth that defined the valley. He anchored the show's heart for 7 seasons, becoming an icon of rural comedy. Behind the bumbling uncle was a disciplined professional. A practicing dentist before Hollywood, Edgar approached acting with precision. He became the only actor to appear in every episode of all 3 Hooterville series, standing as a pillar of reliability. He proved that even the most relaxed characters require a foundation of genuine dedication. In private, Edgar lived a stable life with his wife Mildred. Unlike his character, he was industrious and focused on his community. His final years were shadowed by a stroke he kept hidden from the public. He faced his health battles with dignity, far from the cameras that had captured his famous smiles for a generation of fans. Edgar died on April 4, 1979 at 76. As the last patriarch of the valley to pass, he marked the end of a golden television era. He left a legacy of joy that shielded his personal struggles from the world he entertained so faithfully. At the time of his passing, his net worth was an estimated $1,500,000. Number 3. Linda Henning as Betty Jo Bradley. Born on September 16, 1944, Linda was exactly 18 years old when she began her journey on Petticoat Junction in 1963. She was the only one among the 3 Bradley daughters to appear throughout all 222 episodes of the show. Linda didn't just play Betty Jo. She turned the character into the heartbeat of the Shady Rest Hotel, bringing to life a vibrant country girl and serving as the enduring thread that connected the entire series. Living under the shadow of her father, the powerful producer Paul Henning was an immense pressure. She was frequently questioned about her abilities and had to face prejudice regarding family favoritism. To overcome that, Linda chose to work with utmost dedication, always memorizing her scripts and maintaining absolute professionalism on set. It was a silent battle to prove that the name Linda Henning stood completely independent from the influence of the man behind the camera. Her reel-to-reel marriage with co-star Mike Miner in 1968 was once a fairy tale admired by millions of viewers, but in reality it ended quietly in 1973. This breakup led her to gradually distance herself from the spotlight of Hollywood. Linda chose to confront the pain by withdrawing, giving up further opportunities to shine in exchange for peace and avoiding public scrutiny after deep emotional wounds. By 2026, at the age of 81, Linda Henning lives a private life completely separated from the entertainment industry. She preserves her memories of Hooterville as a personal chapter, no longer burdened by expectations or stage lights. This retreat is a free choice after decades of dedication to television artistry. Her estimated net worth at this time is around $1 million. Number 4, Frank Cady as Sam Drucker. Born on September 8, 1915, Frank was 48 years old when he first brought Sam Drucker to the Valley in 1963. He was the vital link connecting the entire Hooterville universe. As the proprietor of the general store, he played Sam with a grounded, dry wit that served as the sane center for the town's eccentricities. He wasn't just a shopkeeper. He was the reliable neighbor everyone turned to, delivering a performance so natural that audiences often forgot he was actually a classically trained actor. His mastery of the character was no accident. Frank was a highly educated professional who studied at Stanford University and refined his craft in London. This sophisticated background allowed him to navigate the absurdity of rural comedy with unique precision. He holds a television record playing the same character across 3 different hit shows simultaneously. This required immense stamina and a deep understanding of Sam's place as the emotional anchor of the community, balancing the humor with a sense of genuine history. In his private life, Frank was a dedicated family man married to his wife Shirley for over 60 years until her passing in 2008. Unlike the shopkeeper who never left town, Frank was an avid world traveler and intellectual. The real weight of his later years was the transition into a quiet retirement after decades of constant work. He faced the reality of aging with the same steady composure he brought to Sam Drucker, eventually moving to Oregon to find a peaceful life away from the Hollywood industry that had defined his career for over half a century. Frank Cady passed away on June 8, 2012 at the age of 96. His death marked the final closing of Drucker's store, leaving a legacy of professionalism that few actors can match. He remained a beloved figure for fans who grew up trusting Sam's wisdom. He lived a full, dignified life, proving that being a character actor is its own kind of legendary status. At the time of his passing, his estimated net worth was approximately $3 million. Number 5, June Lockhart as Dr. Janet Craig. Born on June 25, 1925, June was already 43 years old when she joined the Shady Rest Hotel in 1968. She appeared at the most sensitive moment of the series, carrying the responsibility of filling the enormous void left by the sudden passing of Bea Benaderet. As Dr. Janet Craig, she was not only a new character, but also brought a different kind of strength, elegant, sharp, and professional, becoming a solid emotional anchor for the Hooterville Valley during a turbulent period of transition. Behind the radiant spotlight, June came from a Hollywood lineage, yet her personal life was marked by contrasting and turbulent chapters. Her 1951 marriage to John F. Maloney, with whom she had 2 daughters, Anne and June, ended in 1959 just as her fame was at its peak. Her subsequent breakup with architect John Lindsay in 1970 forced her into the position of raising her children alone in the harsh environment of Hollywood. She had to carry the dual burden of being a resilient single mother while maintaining the image of the ideal America's mother that the public trusted and admired. The most silent tragedy in June's life came from her extraordinary longevity, becoming a living museum of the golden era. June had to bid farewell one by one to most of her co-stars and loved ones from Petticoat Junction and Lost in Space. Standing alone among fragments of the past became a lingering psychological burden as each passing day reminded her of the absence of an entire generation. She carried the torch of legacy longer than anyone else, representing a level of elegance that has gradually faded in the modern entertainment industry. June Lockhart reached the proud milestone of 100 years old before peacefully passing away on October 23, 2025. Her passing officially closed the final bridge connecting audiences to the memories of the legendary Hooterville Valley. Her life was an epic of resilience, proving that true glory does not lie in applause, but in the strength to stand firm until the very end. At the time of her passing, her estimated net worth was $5 million, a figure worthy of the legacy of an icon who dedicated an entire century to her craft. Number 6, Lorie Saunders as Bobby Jo Bradley. Born on October 4, 1941, Lorie was 24 years old when she took over the role of the middle sister in 1965. She brought a distinctive intellectual charm to the Shady Rest Hotel, becoming a fan favorite across 5 seasons. She wasn't just a replacement. She was the quiet anchor of the Bradley daughters during the show's peak years. Her career path led through 26 episodes of Dusty's Trail in the 1970s, eventually ending with her last role in the 1980 film Captive. Unlike others whose careers faded, Lorie's departure was a deliberate personal decision. She chose to leave the industry while still a recognized star, trading the public eye for a private life defined by her own terms and interests. Lorie's retirement was absolute. She never sought to return to the spotlight through nostalgia conventions or guest appearances. This choice reflected a deep sense of self-awareness. By walking away early, she preserved her peace and avoided the often difficult transitions that plague child or teen stars as they age within the Hollywood system. Now, in 2026, at 84 years old, Lorie Saunders continues to live a life completely detached from show business. She remains a symbol of a gentler television era, remembered for her grace and her decisive move toward privacy. She prioritized personal fulfillment over fame, ending her public story on a high note. Her estimated net worth is $1 million. Number 7. Meredith MacRae as Billie Jo Bradley. Born on May 30th, 1944, Meredith was 22 years old when she took over the role of the eldest sister in 1966. She became the definitive Billie Jo, anchoring the show's final 4 seasons with a sophisticated professional charm. She served as the essential emotional bridge between the rural traditions of the Shady Rest and the rapidly changing world of the late 60s. As the daughter of Hollywood icons Gordon and Sheila MacRae, she grew up in the shadow of immense industry expectations. She navigated this pressure by outworking everyone around her, carving an independent identity through sheer talent rather than relying on her famous last name. Her life was defined by a quiet strength and versatility as she proved her merit on stage in music and as a popular talk show host. The tragedy of her story began in 1999 with a sudden diagnosis of glioblastoma, an aggressive form of brain cancer. She faced the brutal 1-year battle with immense courage away from the prying eyes of the public. It was a swift and heartbreaking decline for a woman who had always been the picture of health and vitality, turning her final chapter into a private struggle against an unforgiving illness. Meredith passed away on July 14, 2000 at the age of 56. Her death silenced one of the Valley's most beloved voices far too soon, leaving a legacy of grace and professional resilience. She remains a symbol of the enduring Bradley spirit, remembered for a life lived with great purpose before it was cut short. At the time of her passing, her estimated net worth was $2 million. Number 8. Gunilla Hutton as Billie Jo Bradley. Born on May 15, 1944, Gunilla was just 21 years old when she took over the role of the glamorous eldest sister in 1965. She brought a radiant blonde bombshell energy and a professionally trained singing voice that became a cornerstone of the show's charm. She didn't just step into a role, she transformed it, adding a layer of Hollywood sophistication to the rural simplicity of the Shady Rest Hotel. But here is the private weight she carried behind those cheerful musical numbers. Before her fame in the Valley, she was involved in a deep, complicated relationship with jazz legend Nat King Cole during the final years of his life. It was a connection built on genuine love, but shielded from a public and an industry that wasn't ready to understand it. This silent chapter provided her with a layer of emotional depth and private sorrow that she carried throughout her years in the spotlight. After leaving the series, she found a lasting second act on the long-running variety show Hee Haw. For decades, she remained a television staple, shifting from a glamorous sitcom lead to a beloved fixture of ensemble comedy as the nurse. While many of her contemporaries struggled to stay relevant, as the decades passed, Gunilla proved her resilience by embracing change. She became a constant in the American living room, proving that longevity comes from a quiet dedication to the craft. Today in 2026, at 81 years old, Gunilla Hutton lives a life defined by quiet dignity and privacy. She remains a cherished link to the golden age of family sitcoms, remembered for the elegance she brought to the Bradley family. Her story is one of a woman who navigated both the heights of fame and the complexities of private heartache with remarkable grace. Her life is a masterclass in staying power. At this time, her estimated net worth is approximately $1,500,000. Number 9. Jeannine Riley as Billie Jo Bradley. Born on January 15, 1940, Jeannine was exactly 23 years old when she began her journey on Petticoat Junction in 1963. As the first actress to shape the role of the eldest daughter, she brought a radiant and fresh charm to the Shady Rest Hotel. With her iconic blonde beauty, she was not only the center of attention, but also represented youthful dreams in the early seasons, leaving a deep impression of a nostalgic era of television. Her cinematic ambitions led her to leave the show in 1965 to pursue bigger roles. However, Hollywood typecast her into the sex symbol image, preventing her career from reaching the heights she had hoped for. Instead of shining on the big screen, she faced rejection and shallow scripts. Her decision to leave at the peak of her fame inadvertently became a barrier, leaving her forever caught in the shadow of her own spotlight. Her personal life became a long, quiet chapter after stepping away from the camera. Jeannine chose to face obscurity with calmness, withdrawing from media scrutiny. She did not cling to fame through nostalgic events, but instead embraced a simple and private life. This separation allowed her to preserve her most beautiful memories of youth, staying away from the pressures and controversies of the entertainment industry. She found peace in taking control of her life beyond the spotlight. By 2026, at the age of 86, Jeannine Riley lives a peaceful life completely detached from Hollywood. She preserves her memories of the Hooterville Valley as a private treasure no longer burdened by fame. Her image as the beautiful Billie Joe continues to live on in the hearts of fans who cherish classic television. Her estimated net worth today is around $1 million. Number 9. Pat Woodell as Bobby Jo Bradley. Born July 12, 1944. Pat was 19 when she became the original middle sister in 1963. She played Bobby Jo with a thoughtful, bookish charm that anchored the Bradley trio. Her gentle presence defined the show's earliest seasons, making her the definitive face of the role for many fans before she eventually chose a different path. Leaving the Valley in 1965 was a bold pivot toward her passion for music. Pat toured with Jack Benny and later found success in cult cinema, proving she was far more than just a sitcom daughter. She was a performer who valued creative freedom over the safety of a steady paycheck, always pushing to see what lay beyond the boundaries of the Shady Rest Hotel. Her private life was anchored by her 37-year marriage to Vern Tatum, but her greatest challenge was hidden from the world. For 20 years, Pat quietly battled cancer. She navigated this grueling journey with a quiet dignity, refusing to let her illness overshadow the life she had built. She chose to fight in the shadows, protecting the grace that had always been her trademark. Pat died on September 29, 2015 at age 71. Her passing was the first major break in the original Bradley family circle, a heartbreaking moment for a generation of viewers. She remains a symbol of the show's purest era, a woman who lived with independence and faced her end with remarkable courage. At the time of her passing, her net worth was estimated at $1,500,000. Number 10. Rufe Davis as Floyd Smoot. Born on December 2, 1908, Rufe was 54 years old when he first boarded the Cannonball in 1963. As the train conductor, he brought a lively vaudeville style to the Shady Rest Hotel. His masterful ability in voice mimicry and animal sound imitation turned every train arrival into a moment of humor and rustic charm. The combination of Rufe and Smiley Burnett created the comedic backbone of the series. He possessed a rare ability to blend physical comedy with a warm, down-to-earth personality. His presence ensured that even as the world outside Hooterville changed rapidly, the Cannonball train remained a peaceful and steady anchor for audiences across generations. The passing of his close partner Smiley in 1967 deeply changed both his life and career. He left the show in 1968 facing an entertainment industry that was gradually moving away from traditional performance values. Rufe maintained the dignity of a classic performer in a modern world, even as his signature vaudeville style was no longer at its peak. Rufe Davis passed away on December 13, 1974 at the age of 66. His passing silenced one of the most versatile and beloved voices of the Valley. He devoted his life to bringing laughter, leaving behind a legacy still etched along the rails of the legendary Hooterville. At the time of his death, his estimated net worth was around $500,000. Number 11. Charles Lane as Homer Bedloe. Born February 26, 1905. Charles was 58 years old when he stepped off the train to become the man everyone loved to hate in Hooterville. He was the definitive bureaucrat, the icy railroad executive determined to silence the Cannonball and shut down the Valley's connection to the world. With his razor-sharp delivery and unmistakable features, Lane provided the essential friction that made every victory at the Shady Rest feel earned. He wasn't just a villain, he was the comedic heartbeat of the show's central conflict. His professional life was a masterclass in the art of the curmudgeon. Known as one of Hollywood's most prolific character actors, Charles spent decades perfecting the role of the miser and the cynic. This specialization was both a gift and a quiet burden. While it secured him constant work across hundreds of productions, it also meant he was perpetually recognized by the public as the man who wanted to take away their joy. He lived his career in the shadow of a persona that was the exact opposite of his kind and disciplined reality. In private, Lane was anchored by a legendary 70-year marriage to Ruth Cavell, yet his greatest challenge was the profound isolation of his own longevity. To reach the age of 102 was to become a solitary witness to the slow fading of almost every friend, colleague, and rival he had ever known. He became a bridge between the silent film era and the digital age, a sentinel of a forgotten time who had to navigate the silence of a world that had moved on, leaving him as the last guardian of Hooterville's secrets. Charles Lane passed away on July 9, 2007 at the age of 102. He was a performer who treated every minor role with surgical precision, valuing the craft far above the fleeting nature of celebrity. His departure marked the final closing of a specific lineage of actors who defined themselves through reliability and staying power. He was the antagonist who proved that in a town obsessed with the new, longevity is the ultimate victory. At the time of his passing, his estimated net worth was approximately $2 million. We love them for the laughter, but we cherish them for the strength they showed in overcoming real-life tragedies. Behind the glamorous dresses were hearts that had once been broken. Don't just watch, feel. Whose resilience impressed you the most? Share your thoughts so we can keep these fading memories alive with kindness.